Good afternoon and welcome to our next episode of the Legally Balanced podcast. We have our special guest today, Alicia. She is the host of Positively Charlotte, and I'm so excited to have her as a guest. Alicia, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be on here.
So, I know on our pre-production call, we talked all about your show, and it's your baby, brand new. And so tell us all about it.
Yeah, so we launched Positively Charlotte. It airs here on Queen City News or Fox Charlotte 5 days a week. We launched it in July, so it's still in its infancy. I'm the executive producer and co-host, but it's Monday through Friday for an hour, and it's really the best people, places, and things in our city. We feel so oftentimes you're getting bad news or just not profiling the great things. We want to show you all the things that we have to be so proud of in Charlotte and in the South.
I absolutely love that. And so that's really exciting for you as a woman to be a producer and a co-host. So is that traditionally like a male-dominated role?
It's definitely a male-dominated role. And in fact, it's a role that usually if you're on air, you are not executive producing. So you have to usually pick a lane. So when I started my career, I was with the Associated Press for 10 years. And back then, I was the boss. So I oversaw a team of 60 people, but I was behind the scenes. And I transitioned. I went on air at E! News. And then once I did that, you lost your boss autonomy. So it's really rare and nice at this stage in my career to be able to run the show, to pick the team, to, really the buck stops with me as far as the show goes. And it's something that I never thought would happen in my career and be able to be on air. So it's just a great position.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's interesting. What did you do at E! News? What show did you host?
So E! News, I worked for like actual E! News, but I call it like E! News. For me, it was like college. It was a great experience learning to be on air. So the years I worked there were Juliana Rancic and Ryan Seacrest, and we just had a really great time. I was there for 3 years. It taught me the ins and outs of being on air. I got to do some amazing things. So that's really where I earned my on-air stripes.
That is amazing. Okay, well, that tells me that we're the same age because I remember all of those people in college. I know. I loved Julia. I remember like her breast cancer thing. That was like a big thing that they talked about, right? Or no,
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Didn't she have her own show or something?
Yeah, you have a good memory. Yeah, so Juliana, came out and said she had breast cancer and went through that journey publicly. But she had her own show about her life with Bill Rancic, her husband, and showed them getting married. Eventually, they had a son. So I just, became friends with her, worked with her, and really came up in that era.
Yeah. Do y'all still stay in touch?
Occasionally, we're friends on social media, but life took us different places. I always lived in New York. She always lived in LA. But with that show, you would travel so much, so I would see her often. Now she's in Chicago and I'm in Charlotte, but, it's all love there.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is really interesting about me. So some of our viewers know, but I know you and I talked about it. My husband obviously used to wrestle for WWE.
Yes.
And this has been like over 10 years ago, guys. So probably in like 2010, maybe 2011. I don't know if my son was born. We did an interview with E! News, interviewed me and I don't know if I'm allowed to say who, but some other famous wives, people who are like famous now. They interviewed us at my apartment from Zoom. They were going to do like a wrestling wives show.
Wait, really?
Yes, but the WWE wouldn't allow us to do it because they own the rights to like these guys' names. So they basically put the kibosh on that. But then like several months later, they released the Total Diva show.
Oh, yeah.
It was like right around that. But yeah, no, we did. It was me, Galena, who's Roman Reigns' wife. Yeah. Amy Polinsky, who was married to Corey Graves, and then another friend of ours, Alex. She lives in California now. She was dating a guy that's not, he was like a UFC fighter. Now he's retired. But yeah, we all four were on my couch in my apartment. We did this interview, and we were all excited about it. And me and Amy actually did a reality show. I think it was with I can't remember, but it never aired. Thank God. Thank God. Amy has the tapes. Like, they give you alcohol on those shows.
Because they want you to act a fool. And what was the show about?
So it was like My Redneck Intervention or some crap. Like, it was so embarrassing. And I was like crying on camera. They had me and Amy mud wrestling in the back of a dump truck. actually talked to Amy a couple weeks ago. She was like, I have the tape. I'm like,
Yes, girl, pull the tapes out.
I'm so glad that never aired. Like, but I always watched Real Housewives, and after that, I stopped watching it because I'm like, all these people are drunk.
Because think about it, for you to put out your business like that, you probably would have to be drunk. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they literally do like push alcohol. Like they want.
Do they
Yeah,
really?
yeah, it was so crazy. But anyway, so I love that you worked for. Yeah, I always liked watching E News. So,
Yeah.
but so tell us what kind of hosts do you have on your show?
Okay, so there's me, and then my co-host is Liza Mahacek. She's from Chicago, you know, young, cool. I'm 43, she's 25. So the age difference there is funny. So we just hold each other accountable. She keeps me in the know. Like I teach her, like, girl, this is how you write a checkbook. So we just balance each other out. And really, you know, Charlotte, obviously you're from Charlotte, you're born and raised here. But there's so many transplants, people that don't know the city. So that's what we're trying to do, is take you on this journey to really get to know Charlotte. So we want you to walk away feeling like you learned something from our show. Definitely. It's not a dumb show. You're going to learn something. But you're going to feel good. It's like having the conversation with two really great girlfriends.
Yeah. And so do you focus on anything in particular, like health and beauty, or is it just all things?
It's all things, but like for today, so we're filming this on a Wednesday. It's a Wellness Wednesday. So we went to Woodhouse Spa. Sometimes we have, you know, organic chefs in. So in Woodhouse Spa, an awesome woman owns it. She's a woman entrepreneur. So that's the kind of stuff we're focusing on. We're doing culinary stuff. We're going out and we're doing athletic stuff. So it's just really what's in our community, what's going to make you feel good. It's covering everything. We might have human interest. Today we had a woman who was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, but in that she started running marathons. Now she's running across the country. Yeah. So it's just anything that's going to make you feel empowered.
Yeah, absolutely. And who's your target audience?
Our target audience is you and I. It's women. It's really women. We're going for a big demo. So it's women 18 to really 55. So these are women that are in the know, that want to be educated, that women that love other women, right? That we love our women time, our women conversations. The conversations, we say it's really your group text off the page. So the group text you might be having with your girlfriends or your mom or your cousin, we're taking that and we're putting it on the screen.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm really big on, and part of the reason I started this podcast was just, you know, supporting other women entrepreneurs. I'm just super passionate about that. And my mom was a single mom with us growing up. And I feel like she always just raised us to be like strong, independent women. And my sister is an attorney too. She works for me at the firm. So I feel like I've just got like, I don't know. She definitely gave me that, I don't know, that girl mojo. So I love when I see that in other women, and
I can feel it from you though. Like when you reached out, you can feel that from you because it was through our friend Deborah, right, Kennedy?
Yes.
When you reached out though, she's awesome. So usually women stick together, like-minded women, and you just reach out, I could feel like you're just good energy. I was like, okay, I want to know Anna.
Yes, exactly. I know. Deborah's amazing. She'll make you feel like so good about yourself because she thinks everybody's fabulous. Like,
so
I know.
We were watching her segment. I'm like, oh, I could watch this woman talk about a paper bag. She's got good energy.
I know. We were at the summer. We were at the beach together this past summer, and we were like out on the boat and just having fun. I know Deborah's so funny. She's great. She's like
good people.
She is good people. She really is, like, positive. And, you know, because I don't know how you feel, but especially like in my industry, there are women can be so hard on each other.
Very, very. I always say some of the hardest bosses I had were women. It wasn't men, it was women.
I know. Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. So I feel like women, you got to build each other up.
I know. Like, and yeah, my industry, there's actually a lot of female divorce attorneys, but they're like, some of them are really mean to each other.
Why is that?
Like, I don't know. And I was wondering if your industry was like that too. It's just like, I think women, we can be competitive by nature, but some people just take it to a different level. Like, I don't know. Do you see that in the entertainment industry?
Well, yeah, definitely. First of all, it's an industry that's sadly ruled by like this, right? Like what you look like, a lot of it. And so on the surface, you think that these women are going to be competitive and catty, but I could say nothing could be further from the truth because those women don't last long in this industry. The women that really have your back. I've had some amazing mentors like Katie Couric, these women that have been around for a long time because they know what matters. So it can be like that, but I found that you can outlast those kind of women.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. I think that makes a lot of sense because, You know, it takes no effort to be nice to somebody
Right.
and treat them decently. You have to go out of your way to be nasty to
I
somebody.
always say it takes more effort to be a jerk than it does to be just good people.
I know, I know.
Mhm.
So, Katie Couric, how did you guys get to know each other?
Oh, so Katie had a talk show back in the day, and
Yeah.
I used to do her talk show, go on there and talk about current events or whatever. And she really became from just a colleague to a mentor. I remember I was going on her show, and I would think I was talking about Sonia Sotomayor, one of the Supreme Court justices. And
Yeah.
that was pretty much outside my wheelhouse at the time. I was very much an entertainment reporter. And I had all these note cards, and I was going on to her set to talk about this political thing. And right before I went on set, she hit the note cards out of my hand, and they went everywhere. And I got panicked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, look at me. She goes, you know it or you don't. And it was that vote of confidence. And she's like, I know that you know it. And I'm just like, okay, you're right. And so from there on, she became a mentor and just somebody, you might not look at you like that, but she looked at me like that. And that's all I needed was to sit up straight and be like, I know my stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing. She was on air for a long time.
Long time. And now she started, speaking of flipping it, so she started her own media company, Katie Couric Media. So she's doing a ton of stuff behind the scenes that people don't even realize, producing a lot of shows and content.
I heard, does she live in the South? I heard that she did.
She lives in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's in New York.
What kind of stuff is she producing now?
She's doing a lot of podcasts. So podcasts are where it's at. So she's producing a ton of podcasts, a lot of human interest stories, and she still does some stuff on air occasionally, but she's really just pumping out content for other people.
That's amazing. I know it's really cool because I know we're talking about it's really hard to get into like that PR world on the national news, and with podcasts you can reach people so easily now.
It's the beauty of it, right? And I think, like, for example, when else would I have a chance to talk to a divorce attorney who's also like a badass mom and a badass woman and has a story? So this is the great denominator and equalizer. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Who's been your favorite guest you've had on your show so far?
Oh, so far, okay. So I think definitely Meghan Trainor. I've been interviewing her for a long time, and right when the show launched, we interviewed her, and she's just really good people. Good energy. She's a mom. She came on our show because she was going on tour, and Charlotte was one of the dates. But I like a celebrity that's going to play ball with you, meaning you don't have to submit questions in advance. Whatever you ask, they're going to roll with. And she's witty, so I love her. We also had the baby. He came in studio, and that was just a lot of fun. It brought good energy to our set. And he stayed afterwards and, took pictures with everybody. And he was doing a concert for everybody in Charlotte. So just the spirit and what he was here for was awesome. And then it runs the gamut. Like, we had Mark Harmon on from NCIS to talk about his book. And now, at first on the surface, I was like, I don't know how this interview is going to be. He was so cool, so funny. So we get a little bit of everybody, which is great.
Yeah, I follow Meghan Trainor on Instagram. I really like her. You can tell she's a real person.
Yeah, she's real. She's about her family. She's real.
Yeah, you can definitely tell which celebrities are like that. And like when Richie was wrestling, we would meet a ton of celebrities all the time, and it's interesting like how many people, like some people are exactly like you think they'd be, and then some people are like totally not.
Who did you meet that you loved?
Well, let's see. We would meet we met The Rock. That was really cool.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I know. And I love it how like my aunt loves him. I'm like, yeah, we met him. We met him in Atlanta at a WrestleMania. I met Chili from TLC, which you probably watched, like, listen to them growing up.
Yeah. Who didn't?
I know. Let's see. We met Kid Rock before. Who else? Let's see. Oh, like, this is so random. This is just how the WWE is. It's like we were like backstage, and I saw the guy from Dinner Impossible. Like, I'm like, he was dating like a diva.
Oh, really?
Yes, totally random. Drew Carey, we met. Do you remember him? He's on a show.
Yeah, now he's on. I think he's on like Price is Right or one of those.
Yes.
One of those shows, yeah.
And so, like, usually when WWE goes to, like, whatever city, especially for WrestleMania, like, it's kind of like celebrities that are in the area will, like, come, and then they have, like, a family box where it's, like, the families go, and then you just see, like, random people, but it's cool because you know, like, I'm a celebrity nerd, like, I love to follow celebrity stuff, and then it's really cool, like, when I would, like, when you meet these people, it's like, they become so much more like like they're just people.
Like people, exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
like it's like, oh, they're just, but because I think in the, from like a layperson, right, where you just see them on the media, they just seem like this
Like, right.
mythical figure. So,
Right.
yeah, I know you and I talked about Jason Momoa. That is like I want to meet him so bad.
I'm with you, girl. I still have not met him, so if I get the opportunity, and I'll be calling you.
Yes, definitely. Sounds good. So I'm really excited. I'm coming on your show next week.
You are. I can't wait for you to come. Yeah, so it's
Yes.
Women's History Month, and I just, after talking to you and learning more about you, I think women could learn so much from you. You telling me how you pivoted, these law firms that you have. I didn't realize that your sister works with you as well. I just think that you're going to be a really great inspiration for so many women.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know. Yes, and I can talk all day about like how we try to practice differently and not over litigating. We want to treat, putting families first. And a lot of people say that, but like really we do. So, I'm so excited to meet with you next week. And is there anything else you want to share with our viewers, or how can they find you or follow your?
Okay, you can find me on Instagram at Alicia AliciaQuarles, and just make sure you're watching Positively Charlotte at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday on Queen City News or Fox.
Amazing. Thank you.
Anna.